Warren and Dunphy, Loyal Family Renovations, Tsunami Express Car Wash, Steamfitters Local 601, Big Fish Contracting, SVA, a professional services company, WeatherTight, and Network Health on the home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
As you're cheering on your favorite team, leave your home comfort to Carrier. Whether it's keeping your current heating and cooling system running smoothly or upgrading to a new one, your local Carrier dealer has got you covered. Plus, now is the perfect time to step up your comfort game with a Carrier home comfort system. Receive tax credits of up to $2,600 when you choose a qualifying Carrier heating and cooling system. Turn to the experts at Carrier and ask about tax credits, local rebates, and financing available for qualified buyers. Carrier, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Find your local dealer at carriermilwaukee.com.
Are you an HVAC service tech with 5 years or more of experience? Ready to take your career to the next level? Steamfitters Local 601 offers customized training programs designed to help you advance, earn higher pay, and enjoy better benefits. With a clear path to success, you'll get the skills you need for a brighter future. Don't wait. Contact Steamfitters Local 601 today and start your journey toward a rewarding career with more opportunities. Visit steam601.org to learn more. Steamfitters Local 601, keepers of the craft, powering Wisconsin.
It's time to clear the air. When you use ethanol in your vehicle, it burns cleaner than regular fuel. But it does more than that. It's better for your engine. It's more affordable. And it supports farmers right here in Wisconsin. And really, don't we all deserve cleaner air? The Wisconsin Biofuels Association encourages you to do your part. Fill up with unleaded 88. It's better for all of us. Learn more at wibiofuels.org.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Get up! Get out of here and go!
Covering the Crew all season long on WTMJ, it's Brewers Extra Innings. Now live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee at the Avenue. Here is your host, Dominic Cotroneo.
All that for that. All of that for that. Brewers lose on a wild pitch. 6-5 the final in the bottom of the 10th inning. If we're being honest, when we're getting ready for this series, knowing that you're going to face Paul Skeens today, I'm not saying you're, if you're going to lose one, it's always hard to sweep a 4-game series. If you're going to lose one, it's probably the one against Paul Skeens. But then you had the lead multiple times. Not against Paul, but against the Pirates bullpen. And now you're in virtually the same spot with your bullpen as you were at the start of the series, where you're needing some help. But we'll break all of that down coming up in a moment with Craig Kashan. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Brewers fallen extras. How we got there does not begin to tell you the story, so let's get you caught up with the highlight recap.
Ready for this?
Out of here!
This?
Brought it back! Ho, ho, ho!
And this?
It is gone!
Time for tonight's highlights.
All right, Game 2, Brewers and Pirates, Freddie Peralta and Paul Skeens. Pocket Rockets going in this one. Skeens coming off a complete game loss in Philadelphia. Freddie has been up and down, and today was one of the down ones. He allowed a solo homer in the third to O'Neal Cruz to open the scoring in this contest. The Brewers were playing from behind. Every run matters in these games, and in the bottom of the fourth inning, keeping a man out of scoring position with your defense certainly helps.
Wind up 1-2. Poked into shallow left field. He's done it again. A base hit for Frazier over towards the line. He turns first, headed for second. Bowers makes the throw. Tag applied by Terang, who's waiting for him, and he is out. Jake Bowers able to gun down Frazier after his bloop single, trying to stretch it. He went over into foul territory to pick it up, did Jake, and made a perfect one-hop throw to Terang.
It was a great play, Josh Mauer on the call. However, we fast forward to the fifth inning. This was a wild inning, a leadoff single by the 8-hitter Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Then with a full count, catcher's interference on what would have been a flyout against Henry Davis. So now there are 2 men aboard and nobody out for the top of the order. Freddie gets O'Neal Cruz to strike out on a curveball, but then walks Andrew McCutchen on 4 pitches. It loads the bases. He got ahead of Brian Reynolds 1-2, but then ultimately walked him. Base loaded walk made it 2-0. Grant Anderson had to come in and try to clean up the mess. He struck out Horwitz. Then it was Canario.
To pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Fastball at 94 at the very top of the zone. Canario strikes out, and the Pirates leave the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 5th.
That was huge because now the Brewers are going to avoid the shutdown inning in the 6th. The 1-out walk to Churio. Yeah, another walk for Churio. But with 2 outs, Christian Yelich pushes a single up the middle. Churio goes first to third. It's up to Rhys Hoskins still against Paul Skeens.
Runners on the corners, 2 outs. And Hoskins, a line drive left center field. Cruz coming in into a dive. He doesn't make the catch. Churio will score. On his way to third is Yelich. The throw gets away. Yelich thinking about heading home, and now he'll put the brakes on and head back to third. Hoskins goes all the way to second on the throw. Oh, the Brewers have played it a run against this Pirates here in the bottom of the 6th inning on a base hit from Hoskins that saw Cruz lay out for it, and he's lucky he knocked that down and it didn't get past him.
Next batter was Frelick. He would ground out to end the inning, but the Brewers get one against Skeens, and then in the bottom half of the 6th, Anderson a scoreless frame. In the 7th, the Brewers' offense erupts again. A 1-out walk to Jake Bowers with a gift of a ball call. A single by Monasterio. The Brewers have men on the corners and the top of the order.
With a runner going throws, and it's lined into center field for a base hit by Terang. Scoring from third, Bowers. Monasterio never broke stride. He'll go to third, representing the go-ahead run. RBI single smoked into center, Bryce Terang. We got a new ball game, 2-2 in the 7th in Pittsburgh.
They weren't done. They go to a pitching change. Dennis Santana enters for Churio.
3-1. Lined on the left center field. In comes Canario. He's diving forward. He can't get it. It bounced in front of him. Coming home to score is Monasterio. It's an RBI single, Jackson Churio. And the Brewers have come from behind against the Pirates and taken a 3-2 lead in the 7th.
Problem is, in the bottom of the 7th, no shutdown inning. Brian Reynolds, of course, an RBI single to tie it up at 3. The game would remain tied at 3 until the top of the 9th inning, and the fireworks really began. First from Wild Bill.
Pitch. Fly ball, left center field. Cruz on the run, going back, looking up. It is gone! William Contreras unties it in the 9th. A solo shot to the bullpens in center. And the Brewers lead it 4-3.
Unfortunately, Abner Uribe in the bottom of the 9th going for the save, gave up a game-tying homer, the second of the game, to O'Neal Cruz. So we go to extras. The placed runner, Caleb Durbin. He got to third on a stolen base, and it was Isaac Collins off the bench.
3-2 coming. Chop towards third over the head of Key Brian Hayes, who was drawn in. It bounds into left, and scoring from third is Caleb Durbin. Just in off the bench minutes earlier, Isaac Collins chops a go-ahead RBI single in the 10th, and the Brewers take the lead back 5-4.
But then the Pirates would tie things up in the bottom of the 10th inning on an RBI single on an 0-2 pitch that practically hit home plate by Canario. Then a bobble in center. The Brewers had an intentional. It was crazy, but there was a chance to keep the game alive thanks to Sal's arm.
1 out, 1-2. Line drive, right field, base hit. On it quickly on a hop is Frelick. They're going to wave Canario around third. Sal's throw to the plate on the hop. Slide, tag applied. He is out at home. Contreras diving towards Canario as Canario tried to slide around to the inside of the plate. And the home plate umpire saying Canario went out of the baseline. That's why he...
So he's retired. And then with a 2-2 count, you have a chance to get out of the inning and go play in 11.
Bat in hand. The pitch. Down and away past Contreras to the backstop. The game ends on a wild pitch. On an 0-2 wild pitch. Contreras couldn't catch it. It was to the left-handed batter's box, in from third. And scoring is Adam Frazier. Pirates score 2 in the bottom of the 10th and win the game 6-5.
Ouch. And that is how the cookie crumbles. We'll break it down coming up next. 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620 on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Hey, Milwaukee, the sale you've been waiting for is finally here. WTMJ's John Mercure here telling you that Kohlder's is offering huge limited-time savings on furniture, appliances, and mattresses during their Memorial Day weekend sale. Right now, Kohlder's takes 60% off, plus an extra 10% off furniture and mattresses. That's right, 60 plus 10 on sofas, sectionals, dining sets, outdoor furniture. I just shopped at Kohlder's. Stack these two incredible discounts and save on everything you need to get your home ready for summer. Kohlder's also offering exclusive Memorial Day prices on appliances. Take an extra 5% off their already unbeatable deals on all your favorite brands like Samsung, LG, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, etc. Kohlder's has been trusted by the Milwaukee community for over 83 years for 3 reasons. Better selection, better experience, best value guaranteed. Shop the Memorial Day weekend sale in-store at one of their 4 locations. With extra 10% off regular and clearance furniture and mattresses, 5% off regular appliances, in-store and online from May 16th through May 26th.
Step up to quality furniture. Get more for your money at Golders.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer. We install anything decks and more. Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
Hey, Debbie, southbound 794. There was just an accident. Right now, it looks like at least one lane is closed.
Call me, Debbie Lazaga, on the WTMJ traffic tip line, 414-238-9329.
Highway 45 southbound. A tire came off of a car.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it?
Northbound 41 at Burleigh. 3 vehicle accident just happened in front of me.
Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers fall in 10. Frustrating way to lose on a wild pitch. The series is level at a game apiece. 6-5 the final tonight. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Craig Kishon is here as well. Brewers Extra Innings is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Hey, Milwaukee, looking for a banking partner that truly understands your business needs? Look no further than Fifth Third Bank. With a local team right here in Milwaukee, they know how to hit it out of the park every time. For 15 years, they've been serving our community with industry-specific expertise and local decision-making that helps your business thrive. You can experience a unique commercial banking value that only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC. There are a lot of little things that added up today, Craig Kishon, that equated into a loss. A catcher's interference, a missed strike call, maybe a guy getting out of the baseline, maybe he didn't. A bobble in center, a wild pitch on a ball that was blockable, a home run, a pitch call. I mean, this is Major League Baseball. If you don't sharpen up the margins, if you're not cleaned up in the things that you can control, you're going to lose games. And we've seen, unfortunately, more games like this that the Brewers lose on the margins and then lose the game.
To me, it keeps reminding me of how close this year the Brewers are to doing some things, because quite frankly, I think the first thing that pops up in my mind and in a lot of other people's mind, they've been through this before. They win games like this. And then quickly, all that gets erased when you remember where you are today. This is not last year's team. Not even close here at this point. There are just too many games like this that are stockpiling, against this team. And you can document all the things about inexperience, tax bullpens, missing a star player, players underperforming, guys just not making plays defensively. Unfortunately, it's a lot of those things, Dom. And, the other thing that kind of sticks in my craw a little bit too are some of the really tough losses they've had to the teams that are already struggling mightily worse than the Brewers are. Baltimore earlier this week, this Pittsburgh team can't score runs, but yet they certainly answered from the 7th inning on in this game. And the earlier losses this year to some really, really, really bad teams that have very few wins. So I don't know, a lot to unpack here. I've got more notes on my sheet for my game notes and everything else on here than I've had by far all season long, and at the end of it, it says walk-off loss. So go figure, right?
Yeah, go figure. It feels like that loss in the finale in Colorado, right, where the Brewers had ample opportunities to win the game and then just sort of imploded on themselves and made small mistakes that added up to a loss. I mean, just look at the 10th inning, right? I mean, it wasn't a bad pitch by Uribe on the first game-tying single from Cotroneo. I mean, that was a slider that was practically on the plate, but the mistake there is Chourio bobbling a ball in center field that allows Cotroneo to get to second base. If he's on first, this is a completely different inning, and maybe even you get a double play there with Ke'Bryan Hayes bouncing to third. But then you have to walk Frazier, and then you get a great play in right field to get the runner at the plate, and then on an 0-2 pitch, you throw a slider in the dirt. I think there's equal blame to be given there. William Contreras would tell you he needs to block that ball, and also Abner Uribe needs to tell you I need to make a more competitive pitch on an 0-2 offering and not put my catcher behind the 8 ball. And I know some folks say, oh, he just backhanded it. Well, when you're hoping for a slider that's down and down the middle and you get a ball over in the other backhand, I mean, we could talk about one knee catching. I know there's going to be some catching guru that's a little league, fiend and just wants to talk about, oh, no more one knee catching. Like, should William have blocked that? Yes. Did he miss it because he was down on one knee? No. It was poor mechanics, in my opinion. But just in the 10th inning right there, that's 2 mistakes that lead to 2 runs.
And then to me, on top of it, I'll add to you. To me, that last pitch that ended up being the wild pitch that lost the game totally exemplifies where the bullpen is and has been, and it's taxed. I mean, Uribe is taxed. He's reaching a career high in pitches thrown in an outing. They're taxed. They don't have their closer. He's in a scenario that I'll give him a hall pass on maybe not what he's used to and has a lot of experience trying to finish out a game. But I mean, still, to me, the very end of that is the epitome of where this bullpen has been short-term and long-term. It's not sinking together when you think it is, and guys are pitching in new spots here right now. I mean, that's just the bottom line with this team.
And the 2 guys that had the most rest of the leverage pen, right, Koenig and Uribe, who had both had back-to-back days off after throwing in 3 consecutive games. They both allow runs today. Grant Anderson was fantastic today. Nick Mears gave up some loud contact, but he got the job done in the 8th inning too. But just to paint the picture here, McGill, and this is all including today, right? McGill has thrown in 4 of the last 6. Uribe has now thrown in 4 of the last 6. Nick Mears has thrown in 4 of the last 6. Jared Koenig has thrown in 4 of the last 6. Are you getting the theme here? This isn't sustainable. We'll talk about Freddie in the next segment, too, because he is not absent to blame on this. I know some folks are asking, why didn't Ashby come in there the 10th inning? And Pat Murphy said as such, given Ashby already got hot earlier in the game and giving his health history, he wanted to make sure that he got hot once and then got into the game. We'll definitely see him tomorrow. I understand the reasoning. That's part of the balance of all this. There were some moments that I was scratching my head with Murph today, too. We'll talk about that. But this is all connected. We talked about this on Brewers Weekly this week, where when the offense isn't able to separate, granted it's Paul Skeens today, it's a different story, but when Freddie Peralta isn't able to get past the 5th inning against the Pittsburgh Pirates, with all due respect, they're big leaguers on the other side, but this is your guy. You can't walk 3 guys against Pittsburgh and expect your bullpen to bail you out. It's just not sustainable.
It's not. And, Pat Murphy also alluded to with Freddie that in Murph's opinion anyway, he thinks that groin that has been bothering him the last couple of weeks is still not right for him. And we all know for pitching, if that's a scenario, anywhere in your lower body, that can cause obviously some havoc. And I think, that is definitely something I'm sure that they're going to look further into here. Now, look, if Freddie goes on the shelf, yes, there's some pitching coming back. But, I mean, look at this current roster here right now with guys like Uribe. How long is Uribe going to be shut down before he's ready to pitch again, Don? What's your opinion on that? 2-3 days, something? I mean, do they make a move there just to get another fresh arm up here?
I mean, day game tomorrow, obviously not available after 30-plus pitches today. Probably not available on Sunday either. Monday's a day game, too, so do you want him to really turn around and pitch in that game as well after a quick travel day? Maybe he's available for Monday and maybe Tuesday, but that's down as well. I mean, the Brewers have backed themselves against the wall with their pitching, given they have the fewest starts in this, or the second fewest, I should say, starts of at least 6 innings in baseball. Second fewest. And that's just, again, not sustainable. We'll lead this all into the Freddie Peralta conversation. We're up against the break. 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620 on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the Memorial Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big bucks on top brands like Bradington Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradington Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian designed recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases, and it's free. Stop in today and save during our Memorial Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield, Highway 100 in Greenfield, or our downtown Mattress Factory showroom.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Start summer with Memorial Day Brewers action and Dollar Hot Dog Day. Keep the long weekend going as the Crew battles the Red Sox for 3 games May 26th through the 28th. Get your seats now at Brewers.com.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
All right, so Mac Miller in honor of Pittsburgh. Brewers fall 6-5. What was 5? I'm all over the place. I didn't even finish my box score here on my score sheet. 6-5 was the final in the bottom of the 10th inning. With Craig Kishon, I'm Dom Cotroneo. Craig, we got to talk about Freddie. Today, it's unfortunate to say that we've seen this film before from Freddie, and he was not sharp. Maybe the groin is bugging him more than he's giving credit for. 3 walks, only 3 strikeouts. He faced 21 batters today, Craig. 8 of them had at-bats go at least 6 pitches long. That's 48 pitches on the low end, but there's that 11-pitch battle with Henry Davis. There's a couple of 7-pitch battles in here, too. Then ultimately, from a 1-2 count to a 3-2 count on Brian Reynolds to walk him with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. It was the last batter he faced today. I thought Freddie had none of his secondary pitches today, which we've talked about how important they've been for him this season. The changeup looked flat. He had no command with that pitch. Didn't trust the curveball like he normally did, and the fastball was getting hit around. So he kind of found himself, naked on the mound, and that's not a fun feeling for any starting pitcher.
No, and I thought for him tonight, it was definitely his worst outing for sure. And this was, when you go into this matchup with Paul Skeens, you're billing, the number 1 starters, and they both had ERAs under 3. They've both been pitching, obviously well. Skeens is in a class of his own. But specifically on Freddie, I think the big thing with him is you mentioned the word trust, that he didn't trust some of his pitches tonight in his selection. But coming into this, though, I mean, his trust was very, very high, and I think that has led to now, anyway, his most consistent season. But he didn't have great command of anything really tonight, and it showed. And quite frankly, I'm surprised that he only gave up the 2 runs in this game. One was the solo home run. I mean, if you look at one scenario, he still kind of, even though he left before he was done with the 5th inning, still kept his team in it, at least till that point. But it was not the Freddie that we've seen all season long. And I think, just again, from what Murph said afterwards, I think there just has to be some concern here at this point that he's not 100% right now.
When you look at Freddie's line with the only 2 runs, like you mentioned, he owes Grant Anderson a steak dinner for getting out of that bases-loaded 1-out jam in the 5th inning.
Yes.
But for Freddie, I mean, it was suspicious enough, but I think the biggest turning point in this game was the catcher's interference in the bottom of the 5th inning, right? A 2-out leadoff single by the 8-hitter Kiner Falefa isn't great, given now he's 2 for 2 at that point. But he got ahead of Henry Davis 0-2, and he had the 11-pitch battle against him to end the 2nd inning. And then he takes 3 pitches, and you're like, oh gosh, 0-2 to 3-2. We've seen this before. And then on a fly ball, so we thought, to center field that was caught by Chourio, instead is called back. Catcher's interference. Replay showed it clearly. Catching Contreras. He didn't fight it. He knew. The catchers always know. So instead of 1 out and a man on first, it's nobody out and first and second. But then the reason why it's a turning point is because he was able to get Cruz to strike out, but then walks McCutchen on 4 pitches and then gets ahead and eventually falls behind on Brian Reynolds. I mean, there was an opportunity for Freddie to get out of that inning. I know it's, a couple of all-stars there with McCutchen and Reynolds, but there was a chance, and it felt like as soon as a little bit of adversity went against him in that 5th inning and the 3rd time through, and the Pirates didn't even need to pull the bat off their shoulders. It's just not the Freddie that we had seen to this point the first 2 months of the year.
No, and it goes back to some of the, bad break luck that you're talking about with, the walks and hit batters, coming around to score in a lot of these games we've seen too. I mean, that game changer, you go from an out with that player at the plate to having him eventually score. It's just crazy that all led to that. And you're right, though. He still had opportunities that, Freddie so far this year has kind of come through in those opportunities. Let's face it, he's done a pretty nice job, and it was out there for him to go after. McCutchen, for some reason, can't be retired in the first 2 games of the series by anybody.
Holy cow!
I just don't get it. But it's working for him great. And Reynolds came into this series, Dom, hitting 203, but he's starting to get a little bit hot right now, and he's got great numbers against the Brewers as well. So, it just the bad break thing. It's never just that one bad break. It's what it leads to, and clearly the stuff that we've talked about here. There's that extra run for the Pirates, and my other bad break on my note sheet, besides the one that you're talking about, that didn't have anything to do with Freddie, was the next inning. When in the 6th inning, when Hoskins had that RBI single and Yelich was going into 3rd and gets hit with the ball coming in, and it gets away near the backstop. It's bouncing around, and he can't see it. He could have scored had he been able to see it, I'm pretty sure. But that's a run that never got on the board for the Brewers either. So a couple of bad breaks in consecutive innings that was +1 for the opponent and -1 for the Brew Crew.
I agree. Hey, real quick, you want to so 22 plate appearances this series between Andrew McCutchen and Brian Reynolds. Guess how many times they've been on base?
22 plate appearances. Without looking, I'm going to say between the 2 of them, at least 9 times.
14.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to hear.
That is priority number one tomorrow for Quinn Priester.
So McCutcheon
Let's talk a little bit about the
offense.
Yeah, exactly. If it's more than 9, you're right.
Yeah.
Real quick, keep you for one more quick one. Talk a little offense. Talk about that Yelly play. Talk about Rhys Hoskins. Talk about the Brewers and William Contreras. Did have a positive note before ultimately losing the game on the wild pitch. But this text, Brewers just didn't like to keep the lead today. This one from Mark. Pitching, Freddie P. throws a home run ball, then loads the bases, and then the walk, unfortunately, Uribe the wild pitch, unfortunately, and then the catcher's interference. I get it, Mark. It was a confluence of errors today. Nothing I hate more than losing the game on a wild pitch. Beating this guy tonight, being Skeens, would have been huge. Let's talk about next on 620 WTMJ.
Over 60 years in business, with over 60 vehicles out in the field so we can respond ultra quickly to your emergency AC needs. When you call Quality for emergency AC service, you can count on a swift response to get the job done right away. So if the heat's got you to the point where it's just too hot to handle, call Quality and we'll get you the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. When you need commercial or residential plumbing service, you need it now. Call Quality. We have over a 60-year track record of taking care of people. And with over 60 vehicles ready to respond to your needs, we'll be there in a hurry, so you won't have to worry. This is Anthony Zaneski. For commercial or residential plumbing service, call Quality and get the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Is your business ready to take the next step? At Fifth Third Commercial Bank Wisconsin, our team of local experienced advisors is here to propel you forward. We understand your needs and offer in-depth expertise, cutting-edge technology, and tailored solutions to streamline your cash collections, automate payments, and safeguard your assets with top-notch fraud mitigation tools. Contact Fifth Third in downtown Milwaukee today. Let's eliminate the non-value add work so you can focus on what truly matters. Growing your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Brewers Extra Innings brought to you by Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. This Memorial Day, Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical is honoring veterans with 5% off, and that's year-round, not just a holiday deal. It's every day, and their way of saying thank you. Book now at cider.com, SEIDER.com. With Craig Kashan for one more segment, I'm Dom Cotroneo. We touched on it. We've touched about on some of the things that went wrong today, and one of the hardest things he had to do today was face Paul Skeens. And as advertised, he's a stud. He's incredible. He's arguably a top 3 pitcher in baseball. I think it's a great conversation to have between him, Zach Wheeler, and Tarek Skubal. And the Brewers have already seen 2 of them. They'll probably see Zach Wheeler in a week's time in Philly. Nonetheless, they got to him in the 6th, and thank goodness they did. They made this a 1-run game, and I thought you could see the plan change, where you could see some of these guys just wanted to wait it out, see what he had, that sort of thing. Only 2 players the first time through the order swung at the first pitch, but yet the second time through, 4 of them did, and then that last 6th inning, 4 straight batters swung at the first pitch. So they started to get a little more comfortable understanding what they were getting out of him. Fortunately, it was a little too late. Granted, neither starter factored into the decision, but to see the contact, to see the good luck, and to see the Brewers create offense against an elite pitcher is something to take note of.
It is for sure, Dom, and what they did in the 6th inning too. They were able to draw a walk and a couple of base hits off him as well. So, I mean, that's just kind of textbook baseball, and I think you put it together right about the approach and everything. This guy is, I haven't seen him a ton, I'll be honest with you, and it's only the 2nd time he's faced Milwaukee, and the first time was last year. So this is going to be just the second of many to come here. But he's so pinpoint, and his body action on his pitches. I don't know how anybody picks up the ball, and the next thing you know, he's throwing 99 on the inside edge or the outside edge, and he can just he puts it wherever he wants to. His command is off the charts, and when he does miss, he makes you swing anyway. And I think we saw a lot of that the first couple of times through the order, but it's good that they make adjustments, and quite honestly, the game was still tight then, so that was huge to cut your deficit from 2-1 run in that sixth inning for sure. But he is mighty good. He is something to watch, and I, in my opinion, I know this has been tossed around the last couple of days whether or not Pittsburgh's really considering trading him, and they said yesterday that they wouldn't do that right now. I can't imagine what the point is of keeping him around Pittsburgh if they're not going to put anything around him, and they're not even drawing a ton of fans when the guy's on the mound either. That's shocking to me.
It is. It's just sad of what's going on in Pittsburgh right now, but that's water under the bridge in the eyes of the Brewers. Hopefully the next time the Brewers see the Pirates, they don't have to face this guy because he's really darn good. I did love the response of anybody but Skeens, right, to score 2 runs thanks to a gift from the home plate umpire, the Jake Bauers strike 3 call that should have been bases empty, 2 outs. Instead, it results in a walk. Then Monasterio gets his first hit of the year and good base running by Bauers, and Bryce with 2 strikes goes back up the middle. Churio works into a hitter's count with a 3-1. Churio on base 3 times today is a good sign there, too. I loved what we saw from that. But then still, opportunities later in the game, leaving the bases loaded in the 8th inning, having a chance to add on in the 9th inning. And this is the one I'm really kind of frustrated about and wanted to circle. I don't like... people have sick of probably saying this. I hate being an armchair manager. I think it's one of the hardest jobs in baseball, just trying to navigate things, not telling the media everything. But, man, we got to get to the bottom of why Rhys Hoskins is getting pulled in the 8th inning of these games with the pinch runner at first base. If it's like a go-ahead run on second base and a different situation, different spot in the lineup, I totally get it. But that runner did not score. It did not matter to have the wheels of Joey Ortiz in that game. And then furthermore, Joey, albeit drew a walk in the 9th inning, but I think Joey would tell you the same thing. Hey, Rhys has a chance to do some damage there in the 9th inning. I think Pat Murphy is just playing for one a little too often, right? Rhys Hoskins need to finish all of these games unless absolutely necessary to have a pinch runner.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised that he was pulled as well in that 8th inning, Dom, because just the way things usually play out when you can see this game could go in any direction here right now, and there's no way his spot wasn't coming up in that 9th inning. I mean, you could just feel it. Your intuition's like, man, this game is so far from over. And then, you can go back and redraw that 9th inning when Contreras had the 1-out home run, but Yelich drew the walk, and then it would have been Hoskins, right? And who knows with that hot bat. I agree with you, and they had a tough play at first base too. After with Bauers over at first base when Uribe came in, he ended up getting a pitcher unassisted over at first base, which doesn't happen very often. It was a tough play, and you figure if Rhys is there, I don't know. I could go on and on. But
I think that was a tough play. That was a tweener. I think Abner did the right thing there.
Yeah,
I agree with you though.
Yeah,
I agree with you on the offensive front of it for Rhys giving him an opportunity with Yelich at the plate, and I wonder if that strategy changes in the near future. Real quick, William Contreras, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and for a second it looked like how you finished was hitting a go-ahead home run in the top of the 9th inning and not allowing a wild pitch. He'll shake it off. He'll learn from it, going from 0 for 4 to a go-ahead homer and then the wild pitch, and also threw out a runner today, too. That's 12 on him. He would tell you he should block it, but at the end of the day, to see him swinging the bat better, too, is a great sign and something I'm excited for the rest of this series.
I'm not even going to combine anything except look at that 9th inning home run, because how badly does this team miss a late inning home run that was dramatic like that to give them the lead at that point? I mean, let's face it, Brewer fans, we've all been just hankering for a big hit, and not just a base hit. We've seen a lot of those, a home run like that. And this has been missing greatly from this team all season long. It's just too bad that it didn't prove to help win before the end of the night was over with here. But he needed that because the team needed that, and he's capable of doing it. It was a very good feeling in that ninth inning.
It really was great. All right, Craig, we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Rest easy. It's a 3 o'clock game, so get ready, shake it off, and try to bounce back and take the lead in this weekend set against Pittsburgh.
All right, we'll do, Dom. We'll see you Saturday.
All right, good night. We're back with more after this. Get a couple texts to answer as well, 855-616-1620. Murph a little bit later on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Hey, Milwaukee, the sale you've been waiting for is finally here. WTMJ's John Mercure here telling you that Kohlers is offering huge limited-time savings on furniture, appliances, and mattresses during their Memorial Day weekend sale. Right now, Kohlers takes 60% off, plus an extra 10% off furniture and mattresses. That's right, 60 plus 10 on sofas, sectionals, dining sets, outdoor furniture. I just shopped at Kohlers. Stack these two incredible discounts and save on everything you need to get your home ready for summer. Kohlers also offering exclusive Memorial Day prices on appliances. Take an extra 5% off their already unbeatable deals on all your favorite brands like Samsung, LG, KitchenAid, Whirlpool, etc. Kohlers has been trusted by the Milwaukee community for over 83 years for 3 reasons. Better selection, better experience, best value guaranteed. Shop the Memorial Day weekend sale in-store at one of their 4 locations. With extra 10% off regular and clearance furniture and mattresses, 5% off regular appliances in-store and online from May 16th through May 26th.
Step up to quality furniture. Get more for your money at Golders.
Trust in your family's comfort at home with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. They're the oldest family-owned HVAC company in southeast Wisconsin. 4 generations of Ciders, and their highly trained technicians provide a one-stop shop for all home and business comfort needs, including an emergency service line that's always live and a 12-year parts and labor warranty on all Daikin products. Get peace of mind by scheduling maintenance today with Cider Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. That's SEIDER, cider.com.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the Memorial Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big bucks on top brands like Bradington Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradington Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian designed recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases, and it's free. Stop in today and save during our Memorial Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield, Highway 100 in Greenfield, or our downtown Mattress Factory showroom.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Welcome back. I'm Dom Cotroneo. This text from Bill in Madison. When will Murph realize that Churio's not a center fielder? The Brewers know he's not a natural center fielder. Now, any outfielder needs to be able to hand a ground ball. He bobbled the ball, E8. But I thought Churio today, defensively in center, was maybe his best game. You know, tracking down a couple of balls in the gaps. Pittsburgh is a ginormous ball yard. I thought Churio was fantastic today, airborne defensively, and obviously the key error in the 10th inning. That could have happened if he was in right field or left field as well. That's a play that needs to be made, obviously. But a reminder that the reason why Jackson Churio is playing center and not Sal Frelick is because Sal has a better arm than Churio does, as we saw. Could you imagine, right, the conversation we're having if the ball is hit to right field, Churio comes up throwing, and his Achilles heel right now defensively is a poor arm. He's made some really poor throws this year. And the game's over. We're not talking about a wild pitch. And Sal makes a perfect throw on the money. The reason why you put your better arms in the corners, specifically right field, is because, for one, right field arm is important to try to nab runners going first to third, keep them from doing so. And furthermore, more balls are hit to the corners than there are to center field for you to have a chance to have a play at the plate. So hope that clears it up. And a reminder, A Gold Glove caliber center fielder Blake Perkins has been on the IL all season with a fractured tibia, and Garrett Mitchell has been on the IL for almost a month now with a strained oblique. He has returned to workouts and moving the body again. He's been back at home working out with the team, so perhaps we hear about game plans for him to start swinging again. Normally that's the last hurdle when it comes to an oblique specifically, given it is a rotational movement. So that's part of the reason why Sal is in right and Chourio is in center. Chourio, a couple of good games in Pittsburgh. Good to see him get on base back-to-back games 3 times, and a double yesterday, an RBI single today, even a walk in each of the last 2 games. You know, I had that poll up asking what's going to happen more of, more homers or more walks, and, well, the walks are catching up now, so don't lose sight of that. He's still at 7 home runs, but now he's at 7 walks. So let's see what that is. And his OPS, it's almost at 700 again. It's at 698. Good news from that front. Look, this was a game, and I hate hedging, and I don't like to just kind of, oh, well, it's a loss and no big deal. No one likes to lose. Straight up. Nobody in that dugout wants to lose. But when we sat down and looked at this series and said, all right, Paul Skeens versus Freddie Peralta on Friday. With the way that this offense has been scuffling as of late, it's going to be a tall task against Skeens. If you lose that one but then win the next 2 still, you still come back home 500, and the Brewers have an opportunity to do that. That is what the goal will be these next 2 games. Quinn Priester facing his old club, revenge game season, and then you'll have Logan Henderson making his 4th big league start. He's been fantastic so far. He gets the ball on Sunday, and I'm fired up to watch that game as well. We'll hear from the manager up next, Pat Murphy. Brewers fall 6-5 in 10 innings here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris are joined by the legendary Chris Mad Dog Russo. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. For more than 8 years, QC Kinetics has been the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain. You heard that right. Non-surgical relief. More than 50,000 patients who had knee pain, back pain, now living pain-free. Those with shoulder and hip pain, it's gone. The regenerative cell therapy restores tissues in your achy joints. Dr. Caravelli's team uses biologic growth factors with robust healing properties carefully and strategically placed in your joint. And there's no surgery. Remember that. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing the old tissue. Here's what you do. You call today, 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
They produce less energy than a big nuclear power plant, so it's a little bit easier.
Entertainment.
This second season, there's such an excitement, and then also the curiosity of polygamy.
Oh.
And more.
If they did not have access to things like Badger Care, what would happen to these women and their children?
Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer. We install anything decks and more. Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
Mears, the 0-2 pitch. There goes the runner. Pitch is a ball. Throw to second is in time. They got him. Contreras does it again. Turang applied the tag on Frazier, and the inning is over. William Contreras, nobody better.
12th runner caught stealing this year, 14 total to his ledger. That leads Major League Baseball. That is our Surfside play of the game, brought to you by Surfside, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside iced tea and vodka, and Surfside lemonade and vodka, paired perfectly with a day at the ballpark. And stocked at American Family Field all season long. Brewers fall 6-5 today in 10 innings to the Pirates. Series is level at a game apiece. And the manager, Pat Murphy, shared his thoughts with the media after today's game. Take a listen.
Tremendous amount of great performances today. It's hard to win a major league game, and we fought back a couple times. We were behind, got ahead, tied it, got behind, tied it, got ahead, lost the lead, got ahead, lost the lead, and lost it. It comes down to little things, but we did a lot of great things tonight, too. There were a lot of great performances. Freddie didn't have his best stuff, kind of ran out of gas a little bit. I think that leg's bothering him a little bit. The groin is bothering him a little bit. Well, I might be overreacting, but anyway, I thought Anderson did a great job, and, our pen's a little beat up, but Abner gave up the big homer. You got to give Cruz credit, man. Two unbelievable homers. But they kept clawing back too, so we had a lot of good. Churio made some long yardage catches that were important. Sal makes a great throw. William throws a guy out. A lot of good. Bowers throws a guy out from the outfield. Terang makes a play up the middle. I mean, we had a lot of great plays and a lot of great offensive performances, but just not enough tonight.
As far as that bullpen, we know you've been mindful about how much the guys have worked. Is this a night where you feel like that bit you?
Not really. I mean, McGill wasn't available. That was it. But the way Uribe was out of for his first inning, even though he gave up the homer, he got out of that first inning in, 12 or 14 pitches or something like that. And he was ticked about it. I said, "This is your game." I thought he'd shut him down, but they did some good job with 2 strikes, and it wasn't his night, but I thought he battled and competed, gave us a chance there.
I think when the offense came back against Skeens late in his outing, what did you think about the
it looks like Skeens was great. I mean, he was great. You see why he gets all the hype. He's really, really good. And he got a little tired at the end, and but we still didn't do a whole lot of damage against them. And struck out. He struck out probably 10. How many did he strike out?
8.
But I was proud of the way we battled against him, and he's one of the best in the game. But I thought, we had a couple shots to break it open and didn't. It's the way it goes.
It's probably early right now, but is there a concern with Freddie's leg? You're going to have to get that checked out or anything?
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to keep an eye on it. We knew what it's about. It's just something we're going to have to look at. He's going to say it's fine, but he had it wrapped pretty heavy today.
Murph, Abner, how emotional a guy he can be.
Right.
To see 2 leads get away, is that a particularly tough one for him, do you think?
We'd already warmed up Ashby once in the game. He's new to our team. He's on a pretty good routine. He's coming off the IL. Didn't want to warm him up again. We didn't need him because Grant Anderson got out of it. So I didn't want to use him. So we had Alexander for length, and that was it left. So, Abner, was the right guy for that.
That's what we talked about earlier in the show. They wanted to stick with Abner. Now Abner's going to be down for a few days, so you look to Quinn Priester and say, hopefully you can get some length out of him tomorrow. We'll get you ready for that series Game 3, not finale. It's a 4-game set. Coming up next as we wrap up the program after this on 620 WTMJ.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
As we walk through life, we can embrace our stories, even the painful parts, as sacred opportunities to point others to Jesus. Our difficulties, be they physical, emotional, or spiritual, They often become the backdrop against which God reveals his faithfulness. Each challenge is an opportunity for his power to be displayed.
Guest speaker, Pastor Greg Manning, this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
You'll find that the licensed and certified electricians from Quality are top-notch. We've been around for over 60 years, so expect nothing but the best. And here's the kicker. With over 60 vehicles out there on the roads, you're not going to have to wait very long at all for the electrical service you need now. This is Anthony Zanevsky. For all your residential electrical needs, call Quality.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. At Quality, we offer the most respected brand names in heating and air conditioning. Armstrong and Carrier. It doesn't get any better. And our technicians are top-notch. I know, because I handpicked every one of them. They're vetted and thoroughly trained. Hey, they're the cream of the crop. And that's why our quality workmanship guarantee is the strongest in the business.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
This is Brewers Extra Innings on WTMJ.
All right, a few minutes left here on the show. Tomorrow, we start at 3:05 for first pitch. Oh, my God, Pitbull just... I'm just kidding. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry. We're on the air, too, though, with Brewers warm-up. Yours truly here. Then the on-deck show will take over at 2:30. Then first pitch at 3:05. Quinn Priester for the Brewers against Mitch Keller for the Pirates. Then on Sunday, it is a 12:35 first pitch. Just the on-deck show at noon on Sunday. No Brewers warm-up, but we will have post-games after each of the next two games. We mentioned Logan Henderson on Sunday going up against the lefty, Bailey Falter. On the out-of-town scoreboard today, the Cubs won again. They won big over the Reds, 13-6. Pete Crow Armstrong hit 2 homers in that one. They have 31 wins now, do the Cubs. The Cardinals hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight came back to win that one 4-3 tonight. A 4-run bottom of the 6th inning. The Diamondbacks bullpen is in shambles, and Zach Gallen against his original club gave up 4 walks and 4 strikeouts and 4 runs working into the 6th inning. Zach Gallen is 3-6 with a 5.25 ERA. Elsewhere in the division, that's it actually, because 2 of the games were divisional matchups. The Rockies won! The Rockies won! This is not a drill. They get their 9th win of the season over the New York Yankees. How about that? 3-2. That game was in Denver. Elsewhere, good one in Queens after a rain delay. A 3-run bottom of the 9th inning for the Mets against the Dodgers. Tanner Scott has blown it again. The triple from Jeff McNeil scored 2, and then old friend Tyrone Taylor, a game-tying RBI single. It's 5-5, Dodgers and Mets rematch of last year's NLCS. Out west, the Angels have a chance to add to their winning streak. They're up 6-1 on the Marlins. The Angels have won 7 in a row. The Phillies up 1-0 on the A's in Sacramento. Zach Wheeler has gone into the 7th inning and still pitching. He has 8 strikeouts and only 3 hits allowed. But on the other side, tip your cap as well to young right-hander Jacob Lopez, Jacob making only his 3rd career start and has been pitching very well in that contest. All right, so we'll go ahead and get ready to say goodbye here in just a moment. So the Brewers, shake it off. 1 game, made some mistakes. There were some moments that you said you deserved to win the game. There were some moments you said you probably didn't deserve to win the game, but you got another one tomorrow. A reminder, this week, Monday night, or is a day game rather, Memorial Day. Hope to see you at the ballpark. We will have both Brewers warm-up and a post-game show, and it's $1 dogs at the ballpark. You're not working. Come to the game. We're working, but we're having fun doing it. So we'll see you Monday. Boston Red Sox coming to town. Then Tuesday's back to a night game. That will be a 6:40 first pitch. Same Red Sox. Then Wednesday, back to that 12:10 start time against the Sox. Then Thursday is the next off day. So the Brewers are limping to that next off day in 5 days' time. They're 5 games away from another off day, and they could really use it with the way this bullpen has it hanging right now. One little bit of injury news at the end of this show is the fact that Jose Quintana threw a bullpen session yesterday, about 45 pitches long, made it through at A-OK from his shoulder soreness. He is due to make a rehab appearance on Tuesday with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. So keep an eye on that up in Appleton as Jose Quintana will start his road back to the big leagues coming off the injured list. So that's a little bit of news here at the very end of the program. Alrighty, shake her off. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Again, we're on the air at 2 o'clock. First pitch is scheduled for 3:05 Central Time. Revenge game season, right? I know he's been traded to the Red Sox between them, but this will be the first time Priester faces his old club. For our producer, Matt Yazel, and a thanks to Craig Kashan as well, I'm Dom Cotroneo. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon. Keep on swinging.
Start summer with Memorial Day Brewers action and Dollar Hot Dog Day. Keep the long